Get out my head and into the bed, girl. Cause you don't know, plotting out the fantasy.
Welcome back. Such is Sean Paul's musical achievement since bursting onto the world stage over 12 years ago. He's now ranked among the most important Jamaican ambassadors of all time.
Well, I don't really care what people say.
Sales of over 10 million albums worldwide, including 5 Billboard #1 singles.
Woman, get busy. Just shake that booty non-stop when the beat drop. Just keep swinging it.
The Grammy for Best Reggae Album of 2004 and American Music Awards Best Pop Rock Male Artist of 2006 are just 2 of the coveted international accolades the DUTTYCUP DJ racked up over the period.
Girl, I got you so high, and I know you.
Though always a subject of disparagement in the local space, the Gimme the Light toaster is unwavering in his determination to promote the Jamaican culture and making dancehall a fixture in the global mainstream. People like Don Corleone, Craig Leftside Parks, Arif Cooper, Stephen McGregor, and Delano of Renaissance are just some of the dancehall producers credited on the DJ's multi-platinum body of work.
Got to love you, got to love you, got to love you, got to love you.
Sean Paul is among the headliners of this 2014 staging of Reggae SUMFEST, his first appearance in 10 years, about as long as the last time he graced our stage. Sean, blessed love, sir. Thanks for coming.
You thanks.
Great to have you right here on our stage,
Thanks
sir.
for the time. Thanks for having me.
All right, great. So, your latest project, let's start with that. It's Full Frequency.
Full Frequency. Name of the album and my mindset at this point.
Yes.
To tell the truth. You know, we did a lot of work pertaining to the album Full Frequency, but also I found that, you know, I've been doing some step outs here and there with different genres of music that I feel I want to get involved in. I want to add my fan base, the knowledge of the work that I've done with my fan base. I want them to feel that type of vibe and be, what can I say, entertained by and have a great experience from. So I've been doing work with the reggaeton world and also, you know, a lot of different pop acts and also the Afrobeat world. I think that Afrobeat right now at this point is a music that sounds like soca and dancehall mixed. And, you know, dancehall always was very Afrocentric to me. And when seeing it come from there now, you know, my friend that I did a song with, named Fuse ODG, kid from Ghana, is a song called Dangerous Love, and it's basically, you know, big right now in the UK. And he has a saying called Tina, which means #Tina, which means this is New Africa.
Okay.
So they're out there showing people that, yo, this is our new style. And it's, to me, sounds very mixed with what we've been doing, and our thing comes from, you know, elevating and taking stuff from what we have had in our culture, African-wise.
Right, because a question I wanted to ask you is about what does this say, this album, about your growth as an artist?
Yeah, to me, dancehall is the biggest underground music in terms of it's played in a lot of clubs, it's playing everywhere, all over the world. People appreciate it, but still, we don't always get represented on the major stations, the platforms, the TV stations or the radio. And so, you know, it's kind of like my way of trying to bridge that gap.
14 tracks. Are you a producer on any of them?
Yeah, one of the tracks, a track called Take It Low.
Yeah, because I know you had been dabbling in producing.
Yeah.
Are you now an established producer, sir?
You know, when it comes down to those type of things, I think when I first wanted to pinpoint dancehall and say, let me be the artist, let me do that.
Yes.
And then, you know, as I said, dabbling, trying to figure out the production thing. I never ever thought that, oh, I'm going to be the next best producer.
Okay.
And I never ever thought, I mean, some people don't know about my drum sometimes, but I wouldn't do it on stage. I do it for my own pleasure.
You do a little drumming?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm going to take some, you know, I do some guitar and I have a few cards that I know I've written a song or two like that before, and people come and produce around it. So those things are for my enjoyment, and I think it helps me sharpen who I am as a DJ.
Yes. How do you sum up how well Full Frequency has done?
Pretty well, you know, in terms of breaking through again in Europe, United States has been an issue for me in the past few years.
Yes.
But right now, a lot of the step outs that I'm doing, songs with Major Lazer, songs with Enrique Iglesias, some work with the reggaeton world, as I had told you, kid named Faruqa from Puerto Rico. These things are kind of sparking back an interest for me in the States.
In the States, why do you think the American market is so tough for you?
Music changes.
Yes.
And I think that over the years, the sound changed. So I'll be walking in the street in America, people see me and recognize me and say, yo, love your work. But when you go to the clubs there, what is playing every minute is the trap, and it just doesn't fit in. I've had shows recently where, in different cities in the States where I go, and the whole night the DJ does play some down south hip hop type flavor, and that's the flavor of the month of the time right now in the States. And when you check out dancehall's BPM, it's kind of different from that. And so it just don't fit in. It kind of almost more fit in with the dance music, which is why I started to do things like that. You can be mixed with it. When you look on this album, I have a song called Turn It Up. It's the last song on the album. It's very dance-oriented, but it has dance hall elements in there too.
Yes.
And I think it's just easier for me to go on that route right now, to wave the flag for the culture and for dancehall music for Jamaica.
Right. Yes, comment on that a little bit more for me, Sean, because EDM is running the place globally.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And what I hear you saying is that dancehall fits into this perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the BPM of, if you listen to the BPM of songs like Temperature and the Cool It Dance rhythm, it's very close to what these guys are doing in the EDM.
Yes.
The tempo is up there. The songs can be mixed. Look at the artist called Pitbull, who has basically been doing raps on these EDM type or pop EDM type rhythms. So has Flow Rider also. But these guys started out in different genres, but they look at it as, let me wave my flag wherever I can be heard. And it's the same thing I look at it as. I think that us being close in the BPMs in terms of it can spin and sound like the same type of music, it's not going to change the whole vibe of the dance that you're in or the radio station, people listening. It can fit in. And that's where I've always tried to have my thing. People ask me, what's the formula to my success? And really, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of grinding. And there's a few percentage of talent there. But then other than that, I see the trends that people are coming with internationally, and I try to...
So you're reading them?
Yeah, I try to lock onto that.
But does it get any easier when you go to Europe?
I think Europe right now is just very, very good for me. I went to Finland recently, crazy show. I did a 50-minute set. There were other artists on the set. But when we went there, each song, I mean, me and my bands, we call the bands Bada Bands. Baddest bands out there. Big up Nigel's staff, the leader of the pack.
Okay.
But I mean, I've been put together this band for the past 3 years now, and doing Europe especially has been very great.
What do they want from you? What are Europeans demanding?
I don't know.
Anything
every
different
song,
from what you do elsewhere?
No, I do the same set here, but it's just they gravitate towards it. They like the rhythms that I choose, and they like basically the tone of my voice and yeah, that kind of thing. So it's to them, I guess, different. It's weird to me too, because over the years the generations in Europe, it's different generations, but they're still checking me out. I have a lot of people come say, yo, you're the boss, and my mom's introduced me to your thing, and you know what I mean? So I'm proud, and I'm still glad that younger people are gravitating towards the stuff that I'm able to do.
All right. Your relevance in places like Africa.
Yeah.
Where are you in Africa?
I've been to about 20 countries in Africa.
Wow.
I haven't been there recently, but I've been doing work, as I said, with some Afrobeat kids. Timaya is one, a song called Bum Bum. We did the remix. I think Marshall Montana is also on that, because the song broke in Trinidad this year during Carnival time. We did a video right after Carnival had finished. Me and the said kid. He's from Nigeria. And basically, Bear reports back that, yo, everybody in Nigeria love the song. It's spreading throughout Africa. Also, the work I did with Fuse ODG, as I said. This kid is from Ghana, but based in the UK. It's just some good looks. And Africa has been a place where, to me, they've always been glad to see. I mean, when we book shows over there, they're like, you know, saying a lot of people from the Western world don't come to this part.
Yeah.
Like I remember going to Angola, and it's the first show that they had there in 27 years that an outside person had come in.
Wow.
They had war for quite a few years, and then it finished, I would say 7 years before I reached. And the society started to open up now and let other people come in to entertain them and just spread culture in that respect. I think music is supposed to bring people together, and that's really what it's showing me in Africa.
Absolutely. South America, where are you on that?
Yeah,
I know you should be big down there.
Yeah, good stuff down there, man. Panama, Costa Rica, I've been to most countries down there, Colombia. The only place I've not been, I think, is Argentina. Actually, I've not been way to the south. I'm not really one of the hype persons that always in the street, so to speak. I used to be when I was, you know, basically back in the day and had to be in the street, wanted to show people who I was and, you know, going to different street dances. But nowadays, time don't permit it. So a lot of people don't see me. And them say, well, where am there? And them don't hear much about me, but they hear one or two things on the radio. I mean, it's sometimes frustrating when living here and waving the flag so strongly. When I come back and people say, oh, where you been? What's happening? The Instagram and the Twitter is helping me to kind of show people that, you know, I'm still waving the flag for the country, even though they hear songs that people think are more pop-oriented. You know, as you said before we started this interview to me, every opportunity that I do get, I try to inject what is Jamaican about me into that song. So like things like, I did a song with Saturdays.
Yes.
It's very pop-oriented. I did a song with Simple Plan. They kind of went reggae with it, but it was extremely pop also. But the way how I spit on the track, it kind of makes people, especially abroad, feel like, what's that? Where's that from? Okay. And so, yeah, I think I'm constantly waving the flag. And so thanks for giving me the opportunity for that.
We're going to talk a bit more about that because we want to ask you how you deal with the detractors, the people who are constantly asking you to qualify your Jamaicanness and your dancehall credentials.
True.
When we come back, right here on stage as we continue to chat with our special guest in this segment, Sean Paul.
No need to fight, girl.